So we went in and we said, oh, well, all right, we'll try it, man. We all got nothing to lose. We were all just bouncing the night. We had all the days over, during the camp times. And so we started taking camp. And we thought it was peculiar because, Ed Sharkey never once got in the ring with us. But, he always had some kind of, I got a hernia or I got something, or, whatever was wrong with him. But I think now I know why.
Ed was a referee. He wasn't going to get in the ring. I'll set this up for the fans. Eddie Sharkey was the referee.
Real quick.
Unbelievable.
But it was fun nonetheless, man. We got to do matches in front of some of the inner city kids in Minneapolis, and I'll tell you what, some of the most honest, hardcore fans, they didn't care if you liked it or not. They're going to tell you if you sucked or you did something good, And they were good. But we did stuff. I remember Rude one time, hitting me in the lip, and Rude used to be an arm wrestling champ, and Magnum PA, we used to call him kind of, PI, Magnum PI, because he looked like the guy, and
right, he had the mustache and the hair.
Oh, yeah. Well, we literally beat the crap out of him. Barry Darsow smacked him, hit him with a tackle so hard one time it dislocated my tibia in my lower leg, and it just, some of the things we went through, and, we would walk around limping and feel it pop back in and say, oh, I'm okay now. Let's just go back. We'll catch on to it here in about 10 minutes, and that's just the way we were, though.
I just cannot imagine myself, some young college kid that I was, walking into that training center and seeing that cast of characters you just explained. I think I probably would have got in my car and left.
You ought to hear one better. At the time, Hawk didn't have a car, neither did Rude. And Barry's car was broken up, so I was the only one that had it. And I had a 2-door Honda Civic. And I would have to pick Barry, Hawk, and Rude up for wrestling camp. Well, at the time, I was about 290. Barry was about 320. Hawk was probably about 260, and Rude was about 235. Well, the weight limit on the thing was only 700 pounds. In fact, between Barry and I, we almost exceeded the weight limit of the car, We drove that thing to camp for about 2 months, and finally I blew a rod through the hood. There was just so much stress on that engine.
But I don't even want to see that going down the highway.
Bro, it was like that sumo commercial. It was like that sumo commercial with about 10 sumos come out of that Honda. That's what it was like.
And really quick, I want you, because we're going to run a little overtime tonight. Steve put us on some extra overtime. You have a radio show you're doing, and it's on when and where?
Yeah, it's on KFan here in Minnesota. It's on Clear Channel, and it's which is a KFan's boss Clear Channel, and it's called Extreme Pro Wrestling Radio. We go live on day of pay-per-views. We're live on KFan at 11:30 a.m. in Minneapolis. And we also got the podcast at, I think the Facebook is Extreme Pro Wrestling Radio at Facebook.com or something like that. But yeah, we got the podcast. It's up and running, and it's a great show. I'm on there with a guy, Big D, and another guy that's on there, and we do a great job. And his name is Crisco, and they're two morning drive guys that do the main show, KDWP, in the morning, the big FM station. So. It's doing great. Love to have you on as a guest, Hawk. It'd be great to have you on there. I've had Gagne on and X-Pac and a couple other guys on it. I like to have guys that got great character and easy to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to do it. And for all the fans out there, again, how can they get your book, and when is the next time, and where can they start seeing you?
Well, they can get me at Extreme Pro Wrestling Radio. They'll announce it at that webpage, or they can go to theroadwarrioranimal.com. If you go to theroadwarrioranimal.com, there's a full list of my appearances. You can even purchase a book on there, or you can go to medallionpress.com and you can get it on ebook or Kindle, whatever you like, or you can buy the book itself there. They'll have a listing of where I'm at too. But theroadwarrioranimal.com is the best one, and it's a place to find out where I'm at. Now, I got the Hall of Fame this next weekend, and then I know I got some guest hosting of some shows with WWE coming up, and then I have some, I think in June I'm back at Harmar Mall where Julie Andrews was just there this last weekend, It's in Roseville, Minnesota. I'm back out there for my second trip around. But I'm going to be coming out there. I'm going to get ready to do a tour in Texas and in Florida and back out in New York and probably Ohio and Missouri for sure, because those are pretty much hot spots. You know, where like you said before, my son James had played at and is playing Pro Bowl now with the Rams, so it'd just be a natural place for me to go in because I know everybody there in those cities. So, but I appreciate the time, Hawk. It's been a great talking to you. Man.
I want to, if you get to Phoenix and you're doing the book thing over here at Borders Bookstores down the street from me, I would hope that you...
Both Borders and Barnes & Noble holds them all for sure.
Barnes & Noble, yes.
Yeah, and Borders just got the rights now, because they've had a hard time business-wise. They're paying for everything in cash, but they're buying books too, man. So, yeah, both the big ones, Borders and Barnes & Noble carry the book. So, I mean, it's a great time, and it's an easy read, man. Kids of all ages, and if you're a wrestling fan or not, it's an easy book for anybody to read.
And I would suggest to anybody out there that wants to get this to go ahead and get an issue of it. And it's very informative, and it's like you said, it tells a story, and stories are good.
Yeah. And there's no slamming the guys in it. You know what I mean? I don't hammer any of the boys because I leave that brother alone, and because I respect that. It's just a celebration of Hawk and I's career and some of the issues that went on within the career, that are everyday life issues that people say, hey, how'd you handle that? Or what was, and one of the biggest questions I get is, what was it like when you got the Georgia Championship Wrestling the very first day? And I said, are you kidding me? I said, man, the butterflies were going around in my stomach. I said, I walked into that locker room. I said, there was Tito Santana, Sergeant Slaughter, Paul Orndorff, Wildfire, Tommy Rich. I said, the Iron Sheik, Buzz Sawyer, and I said, how do you think I felt? I was just turned 21 years old, so it was really a kind of a cool thing, and I just come out and talk in my own language to it, like how I felt at the time,
Right, and you guys were the greatest and will always be the greatest tag, and I've said it to you before, the greatest tag team of all time. And the last thing Sergeant Slaughter said before he went off the air tonight was to tell you, Johnny Weaver can still put the sleeper hold on you, even from the grave.
Oh, boy. He was, when I told that story at the Hall of Fame, he was laughing his butt off. I said, yeah. I said, if you young guys out there don't think I didn't get a lesson in the wrestling business, so let me tell you about the Johnny Weaver story. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thinking I'm 280 pounds of brick solid, benching the press and 500 pounds, thinking that my you-know-what don't stink, and they throw me in a match with Johnny Weaver. I said, I'm slamming him from pillar to post until all of a sudden I put him in a rear chin lock, and these two fingers shoot up in the air and start flicking back and forth. I said, what in the heck is that? And then I hear the crowd start stomping their feet, and the standing ovation comes. Next thing you know, Johnny's making his comeback, and I missed a big clothesline or something, and he throws that sleeper on me, and he put 275 pounds to sleep so fast it wasn't even funny. I walked in that locker room, and I told Sergeant Slaughter, I said, ain't no way anybody believes he could put me to sleep like that. Sergeant and Kernoodle were laughing their butts off, and they said, kid, get used to it. This is the wrestling business. And one for Sarge, I think I probably would have went nuts that night, but Sarge had a good way of, joking with you and keeping everything at an even keel,
I had to get that in before the end of the night because I knew it was a good way.
I knew that was coming some way tonight, man. But hey, you know what? Growing pains in the wrestling business, man, is what I triple up to. And you know what? If I had to do it all over again, I would do it gladly.
I would do it all over again. Gosh, I'm so happy you came on with us tonight. And thank you for asking me to come on, man. I have it anytime. Any of your listeners out there that write in, you need me to answer any of those questions or anything, man, I'll come on again and answer whatever questions you got. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I hope to see you down the road. And I love you guys.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Hawk. I appreciate it. And remember, in the words of Hawk, it's what a rush.
All right. Thank you so much. Road Warrior.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.